What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TheVaultProScooters. My name is Austin, and today you guys are joining me for another episode of What's New in Scootering. For those of you who do not know, this is the series where I go over all the latest and greatest scooter parts that have been released, and today's gonna be a very great episode because there is a lot of cool things that just came out, and there's a lot of cool stuff coming over the horizon because Christmas is right around the corner. So we got some cool stuff from The Vault, we have some cool stuff from Root Industries, we have some cool stuff from Drone. There's a ton of stuff to look at, so without further ado, let's get into the episode. So, we've had some cool stuff in the works, and the first thing is gonna be finger scoots. Yes, you heard us right. Finger scooters are now a thing. Obviously, they've been a thing in the past. Tech Deck had finger scoots, and a few other brands. I think Mad Gear did at one point as well. But they've kind of fallen off, and now that fingerboarding is as big as it is, we figured we would try to get our hands on some finger scoots, and they're finally here. If you guys are a fan of fingerboards, you guys can now have a finger scooter, or at least you can add a finger scooter to your collection and pretty much learn all your favorite tricks on this guy when you can't go outside and ride. As you guys can see, they're full-fledged little scooters. You got wheels, grips, bar, clamp, fork, the whole 9 yards. There's even grip tape on here. Crazy. To be honest with you, they're a ton of fun. And like I mentioned, if you guys already have a fingerboard, you're gonna love the finger scooter, I'm telling you. And better yet, it comes in a bunch of sick colors. So the one that I'm holding right here is the black on red. You also have green and red, got that green deck, green bar, red grip, red wheels, and the black fork and the black clamp. Looks really sweet. Moving on, this is blue and red. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Next up is red and black. Pretty cool if you ask me. But that is the red. Finally, we have white and red, white deck, white bar, red grips, red wheels, black fork, black clamp. But comes in a variety of colors. The Vault finger scoots are only $10.95. They're perfect for stocking stuffers. Like I said, Christmas is right around the corner, so parents out there, if you're curious what to get your kid, you guys can get him a Vault finger scoot, maybe a Vault belt, throw it in their stocking, and they're gonna be hyped. If you guys are interested in any finger scooters, the links will be down below. So those were the Vault finger scooters. Let's move on to the Vault finger boards. So we wanted to do our own fingerboards because obviously fingerboarding has become super popular. We sell a lot of fingerboard stuff, which is awesome. A lot of the guys that work here fingerboard, including myself here and there, but we wanted to make a couple of affordable options for you guys that might just be getting into it. So we made some completes and decks, but the first design that we have here is the two-tone logo. This is the same as our grip tape, so you have the gray and the black with the TVPS in the center. Personally, one of my favorite designs that we've ever done, but it comes with black trucks and black wheels. Next up is like the wavy psychedelic, or it kind of reminds me of like the Woodstock, psychedelic font, but it says the Vault here. This one comes with chrome trucks and blue wheels. Next up is the Rising Sun logo. As you can see, pretty self-explanatory. This one comes with chrome trucks and red wheels. Next is the no scooter one. This one was super cool. It has the sign that pretty much says, scooters are permitted or no scooters. And it's just a little ironic that these are of scooter brands fingerboards, but it says no scooters. That'd be really cool. And so far you guys have been loving it, so I'm pretty hyped on that. This one also comes with black trucks on white wheels. And last up is personally my favorite of all the fingerboard designs, and this is because I made this one, but this one is the pop art design. Personally, I'm a big fan of pop art, so I wanted to incorporate pop art somehow to one of these, and this is the result of it. So you have the girl crying here with the really cool like comic book pattern in the red, if you guys can see that. She's crying, and there's actually a Vault logo there as well. But I just think it makes for like a really cool fingerboard deck. This one comes with black trucks and white wheels. For anybody wondering, all of the Vault fingerboard decks are 32 millimeters with 32 millimeter trucks. Like I mentioned, if you guys are just getting into fingerboarding, definitely check out these. I believe these are about 15 bucks as well for the fingerboard complete, which is very affordable compared to a lot of other ones out there, but it's a great way to pretty much figure out if you guys are interested. And the links for these will be down below as well. We also do sell the decks individually, so if you don't need a full fingerboard complete and you just want to cop a deck, you guys can get all the decks on their own. So here's the two-tone logo, here's the pop art one, wavy logo, no scooter, and finally the Rising Sun. So the decks are sold for like $8.95, the completes are $14.95. Super affordable, super sick, and like I said, if you guys are interested, links will be down below. So now that we covered the Vault finger scoots and the Vault fingerboards, let's take a look at the brand new Velocity 2 headset. For those of you who have been a fan of the Vault for at least a few years now, you've probably seen our Vault Velocity headset. We had one of the most affordable headsets on the market. It had the Vault logo, it said the Vault Velocity. It was super sick. We ran it for a few years, but we wanted to give it a facelift, freshen it up for the new year, and pretty much just update it. So what we did was we actually took out Velocity and the Vault on the dust cover and replaced it with 2 more Vault logos, and the final product ended up like this. So you have the 4 Vault logos, the lines in between, very simple, very clean, and honestly gets the point straight across, and I'm a big fan of that. But the Velocity headset hasn't changed in terms of specs. 1.8" integrated headset, just like a BMX bike. Included, you're gonna get your dust cover, of course. You're gonna get your compression ring and 2 bearings. You're gonna be good to go straight out of the box to be able to rev the Vault wherever you are. The Velocity headset is still only 20 bucks, so you guys can get one in any color for $20. It's pretty much $10 cheaper than a majority of other headsets out there. And there's a ton of sweet colors to choose from. So I just showed you guys the black. Here is blue. Next up is red. We also have silver. And finally, we have neochrome. 5 color options, 20 bucks a headset. If you guys need to just freshen up your scooter, get yourself some new grip tape, get yourself some new grips, throw on a new headset, your scooter will feel like new. Honestly, I can't recommend it enough. All right, so that is it for the Vault stuff in this video. But next up, let's take a look at the new colors of the Proto Sentinel SCS. So, the Proto Sentinel SCS came out a few years ago. It was Proto's newest and greatest SCS. It followed up the full knuckle and the baby knuckle, and the Sentinel is essentially a baby knuckle, and it's very similar to the baby SCS. However, it features these really cool cutouts. As you guys can see, you could actually see your bar all the way through the clamp. Depending on what color bar you have, it'll be more apparent than others. The Sentinel SCS also introduced 6mm bolts for Proto, which was a first. You guys have 6mm heads here. And it also introduced the spreader bolt. But I'm not gonna go through everything about the Sentinel SCS since it's been out for a while, but there is some pretty sweet new colors. Originally, the Sentinel SCS only came in black, silver, and gold, but now you guys can get it in this beautiful red. Next up is this electric pink. And finally, my favorite, this anodized purple. I like how the purple isn't very strong. It's not a very bright purple. It's almost like a faded purple, a really unique purple. So if you guys are looking for something a little different, you should definitely check out this. Alrighty, so that's it for Proto. Let's move on to some brand new designs from Heligrip. You guys obviously know who Heligrip is, kings of the grip tape world, Bay Area. They pretty much put on every scooter rider you can imagine that deserves it, and they create new designs and pump them out pretty much every few months. And it's that time of the year. We got a few new ones here, so let's check them out. First up is gonna be the Heligrip Classic logo in purple. Very similar to the Got Grapes that came out a few years ago, but this one's a little bit more of it's a lighter purple. I would give it. It's not a violet, but it's a little bit lighter than the Got Grapes was. Next up is our boy Ruben Rodriguez. His personal, it's his favorite because he's riding it. The lime. Moving on, this one is actually Formula G, so it's a bit grippier, but this is the rainbow logo. Moving on, this is Tiffany. This would go very well with a pair of the Affinity Tiffany bars. All right, next up is the Hell Rosa. So it's a bit of a faded pink, almost like a light rose pink. It's really cool. And finally, my favorite of all the new Heligrip designs by far, my boy Ryan Gold's signature Heligrip. If you guys don't know anything about Ryan, he actually films videos. Filmmaking is what he wants to do for a living, and it's what he does for a living as we speak. And for his design to have the film roll going all the way through it, it honestly just clashes so well with the Heligrip logo, and it really does represent him. So shout out to you, Ryan. Congratulations, you kill it. And this is very well deserved. If you guys are interested in any of those Heligrips, they're all about $10.50 a sheet. Links are down below. High quality, best grip tape you can get for the most part. You guys are missing out if you haven't tried a sheet of Heligrip. All right, moving on. Lucky just released a brand new wheel, and that wheel is the Luckyquattro wheel. I believe this wheel is gonna be replacing the torsion wheel, but this one looks pretty sweet. I don't know if a lot of you guys have seen it, so here we are. This right here is the all-new Luckyquattro wheel. Very unique core design. I love wheels that just stand out compared to everybody else's, and this one does that. It looks like a Lucky wheel as well. I like when brands make products that just somehow resemble them as much as possible, and when I look at this wheel, I don't mistake it for anybody else's wheel. It looks like something that Lucky would make, and I really respect that. The Quattro wheel comes 110mm by 24mm, pre-installed Lucky Speed bearings. These guys do not have a urethane rating because Lucky doesn't release that. It does have their Lucky Rebound technology urethane, so Lucky's really good urethane. If you guys have not ridden Lucky wheels before, definitely give them a try. The urethane is really nice, but I will say they're a bit on the harder side for those of you guys wondering. They are sold individually, so if you guys want to pick a pair of these up, make sure you get the quantity of 2. It's not gonna be fun when you guys order one wheel, get really excited to go riding, and package shows up and you only got one wheel inside. So make sure you hit that quantity of 2. Each wheel weighs 8 ounces, so you're looking at about a pound for the set, which is honestly on the same level of weight as some hollow cores, if not most hollow cores. And finally, Luckyquattro wheels are $32.95 a wheel, so you're looking at just under $75 for the pair. It's a great wheel to get. The Quattro wheel does come in a few different colorways, so this is the white on teal. White on teal gives me early scooter vibes, like early 2000s scooter vibes. There's not a lot of white on teal wheels out there, but this one right here just looks like a colorway that was very popular in the early 2000s. I love it. But white on teal, this is like a teal and black swirl on black. If you guys ever saw Jaden Sharman's signature wheel, this is very similar to the urethane on his wheel. The black cord does look really, really sleek. Next up is black on neochrome, of course. And finally, all reliable, black on black. Yo, scope this nothing front scoot. It's actually kind of like a heel whip. Easy. Alrighty, so those were the Luckyquattro wheels. Now it's time for us to take a look at the all-new drone element decks. These guys come in two different sizes. You have 5.5 inches wide or 5, so I'm gonna run through the specs for both of them and show you the sweet colors that they come in. Well, to give you guys a little bit of backstory, the drone element deck was first seen on the Drone Element Complete that came out a few years ago. Now we have the deck here in front of us, sold individually, and I have to say, this deck is pretty sweet. You guys can see it's a pretty sweet looking deck, some pretty sweet looking graphics, and some pretty sweet looking specs. This drone element deck comes 5 inches wide by either 19.5, 21, or 22 inches long. It features an 83.5 degree head tube angle and can fit up to 125 by 30 millimeter wheels. It comes with this stock drone fender brake thing, and it's a brake, pretty sweet if you ask me. Brake bolts are 5 millimeter head, and this is a top mounting brake, so you can pretty much swap out this guy for pretty much any fender of your choice. You wanna ride a Trinity fender, TSI fender, pretty much good to go. Any fender that rides top mounted brake is gonna work. The deck does come with 30 millimeter spacers in the box as well, so you can ride 24 millimeter wheels or 30 millimeter wheels as well, straight out of the box. The element deck does feature these really, really cool rounded dropouts. These aren't welded onto the deck. These guys can be slid in or out, rotated if they're worn down too much on one side. And I really like how the deck is actually cut out on the top as well, where the peg goes or the dropout slides in. It's really, really cool. I think it makes for a really unique looking deck. Taking a look at the bottom, you guys can see the really, really cool drone element graphic here. I like how the chrome model is actually split two-tone, so you guys obviously have chrome here, black here with the graphic. The head tube does feature a couple cool indentations here to give it a little bit of a sleeker look, and you also have a really sweet cutout here on your head tube. So if you guys put stickers or anything on your fork, or if your fork actually has a graphic on it, you'll see that right here through the cutout, which is really sweet. So those are all the specs of the 5-wide version of the drone element deck. And before I show you guys the colors, I'm gonna talk about the specs for the 5.5, just because the decks are exactly the same, just the specs are a bit different. So let's go ahead and do that. The differences between the 5-wide and the 5.5 wide element deck is pretty much just width and length. Everything else is exactly the same. As far as wheel compatibility goes, head tube angle, everything is the same. You're just gonna have a different width and length. So the 5.5 inch drone element deck comes 5.5 inches wide by either 20.9 or 22 inches long. Still features the same 83.5 degree head tube angle, wheel compatibility of 120 by 30 millimeter, included spacers, indentation on the head tube, fender slash brake, everything is the same. It just comes 5.5 by 20.9 or 22. The guys over at Drone just do a great job when it comes to designing their products, and I have to say that they look one of a kind, they look different, they stand out from all the other parts on the market, and I'm personally a big fan. So when it comes to color, like I mentioned, this is the black and polished or black and chrome. Next up is white. Once again, not a lot of white scooter parts out there, so really hyped to see this guy. The red deck ends are such a nice touch. Taking a look at the bottom, you also have the red graphic, but super sweet. And last but not least, we have the all black. So all black deck, but this one has red dropouts as well. I'm a big fan of the red deck ends. I just think they pop like crazy. Red or gold is honestly the move, and that's the graphic on the bottom. So that's pretty much it spec-wise for the drone element decks. If you guys are interested in picking one up for yourself, it doesn't matter if you get the 5.5 or the 5. Each deck is only $134.95, which is honestly insanely affordable in today's market. Most decks of this size and this quality are gonna be going for somewhere in the $200 price range, if not even more. So you guys can pick one of these up for $134.95, and I highly recommend you guys do that before they're gone. Hit that link down below, cop one, and I promise you, you guys are gonna love them. Alrighty, so now that we've made our way through all that product, it's time for us to start taking a look at all the brand new stuff from the boys over at Root Industries. Alrighty, so the first new product are gonna be the Undialed X Root Industries collab wheels. So the Root Industry X Undialed wheel is just a Root Industries air wheel, just like our Vault wheel was. However, it has their super unique graphic on it. This wheel is available in either 110 or 120 millimeters by 24 millimeters wide. All Root wheels come with pre-installed Root Industries ABEC 11 bearings. These guys are sold in pairs, so when you buy a set of Root wheels, don't have to hit the quantity of 2 because these guys are sold in pairs. And finally, Root Air wheels come with an 88A urethane rating. White Trash really goes hard when it comes to designing graphics for products, t-shirts, or anything like that, if you guys just take a look at anything that they've released. So the core features this really cool spirally undialed logo on the center, and the pad printing has this really cool mountain logo. I'm assuming it's mountains because those guys live out in Arizona, but it does also come in a teal and orange as well. I did mention they come in 2 sizes. That does affect the price. The 110 millimeter Root Industries X Undialed wheels are $74.95 a pair, and the 120 Root Industries X Undialed wheels are $84.95 a pair. So there is a $10 price difference between the 110 and the 120, but bigger wheel, more product, essentially it's more expensive. That's just how it goes in the world. These guys are limited edition. I don't see them being around long because people are buying them like crazy. So make sure you guys hop on the website and cop a pair before they're gone because they're not gonna last. We're gonna continue with the Root product and we're gonna be taking a look at the all new Root Industries Invictus 2 Pro Scooter. So here it is. This is the all new Root Industries Invictus 2 Pro Scooter. And I have to say, I am absolutely in love with this thing. They went hard. They revamped this scooter, they brought it back and better than ever, and I'm really excited to cover it. So let's go through it. So the bars on the Invictus 2 come 24 inches tall by 22.8 inches wide, but these guys are aluminum, which means this complete is rocking IHC compression with the Invictus fork here. You guys can actually purchase this fork aftermarket now if you'd like. The grips on the Root Industries Invictus 2 are the normal Root Industries R2 grips. However, they feature this brand new teal and pink colorway that matches the rest of the complete perfectly. The clamp on this complete is the Root Industries Invictus double clamp. This guy's also sold individually as well if you guys want to cop one, but this rose gold pink colorway is unique to this colorway complete. Moving on to the deck, the Invictus deck got a full revamp, and I have to say it is really sick. It actually features the Root Industries honeycore cutouts that you would normally see in the honeycore wheels, actually on top of the deck right here. For first impressions, straight out of the box, this is sick. Wheel compatibility wise on this complete, you're gonna be able to ride up to 120 millimeter by 30 millimeter wheels. The wheels that come on the complete are Root Industry 110 millimeter air wheels. This is actually a colorway that we've never seen from Root, clear urethane on teal, one of the coolest things I've ever seen as well. But you will be able to ride up to 120 by 30 wide on this complete, so if you guys buy it and you want to expand later down the road, you're good to go. Moving on to the back, it does feature these nylon deck ends just to prevent your deck from actually caving in when you do feebles and stuff like that, which is nice to see. You have these really sweet honeycore graphics going down this side, just sticking with the honeycore theme that Root Industries is known for. And on the bottom, this is where the graphic really comes to life. You have the Invictus logo here and the honeycomb print as well. It's really sweet. And finally, the deck on the Invictus 2 comes 4.8 inches wide by 19.7 inches long. So aluminum bars, IHC compression, super sick deck, super sick cutouts, one of a kind wheels. This complete is insane, but there's a few other ones, so let's take a look at those. So next up is going to be black on red, same exact scooter, just a different colorway. This one features the black deck, the black bar, but it has the red graphics on the bar, the red clamp, black on red honeycore wheels, black and red R2 grips, the whole 9 yards. Taking a look at the bottom, same thing. That red honeycore graphic just goes so hard. This one's pretty sweet as well. This is Gold Rush. Root Industries gold isn't just like a weird anodized matte gold like a lot of other companies. Their gold is like a very reflective gold, like a gold brick gold, as you guys can see from the clamp. It's a fingerprint magnet, but it stands out. This one's pretty much all black with the gold accents. And I really like how the graphics on the side of the deck and on the bar are actually like holographic, if you guys can see. So they're like holographic, they reflect light. It's a really cool touch. Same on the deck, can you see me through it? It's a really cool complete. Gold Rush is a super cool color as well. Let's move on to the next one. Moving on is black on white. Same thing, all black, white accents, white on black grips, white clamp, white wheels. Very clean, very simple. Can never go wrong with white and black. If you guys aren't a big fan of the super loud, outrageous colors, this is definitely gonna be the one for you. All right, and last but not least, of course, we have Rocket Fuel, AKA Neochrome. Root Industry made Neochrome honestly what it is today, so they had to make it in the complete. And here it is. So this one features the full rocket feel or neochrome deck with the black bar, pretty much everything else on the scooter blacked out, and I'm a big fan of this one as well. I love how sleek it looks. Root does a really good job with their neochrome. It's a very rainbowy, it's not just purpley and gold, got every color in the rainbow in it, and I love it. I like how the graphics on the bottom are black. Very simple, it's very sleek. For a complete that features a full neochrome deck, I would say this complete is very low key. It doesn't stand out as much as you would think. It's like a matured neochrome. So those were all the colors in the Root Industries Invictus 2 complete. So I know a ton of you guys are wondering, the Root Industries Invictus 2 complete comes in at 7.39 pounds. So under 8 pounds, this complete is insanely light. I know you guys wanna make sure you know how much a scooter weighs before you buy it, so there you go. And finally, the Invictus 2 comes in at $289.95, so just under 300 bucks for super high quality, practically full aftermarket complete. That is a sub 8 pound scooter. What more do you need to hear? All right, moving on to the last product in today's episode of What's New in Scootering is gonna be the all new Root Industries Air RS V2 Pro scooter. The RS was a really sick complete. It featured a ton of unique specs and products on it that stood out like a sore thumb in the greatest way you could possibly imagine. And it's back, and once again, just better than ever. Root took the RS complete and just toned it up to 10 when it came down to size. This complete features very large parts and is gonna be great for anybody who's a bit taller or somebody who's just getting into the sport that wants something with a wider deck or wants something with a taller bar. So the RS complete comes with 28-inch tall, oversized steel bars. These guys, like I mentioned, they're 28 inches tall by 24 inches wide. It also is featuring the Root Industries Air double clamp, HIC compression, Root Industries R2 grips on the top, just to make sure you guys are squeezing onto some of the most comfy grips on the market. The RS deck has been completely redesigned and revamped, and it looks really sick in person. This guy comes 5.2 inches wide by 22 inches long. You can see the all new designed head tube here. The head tube still does feature the classic Root Industries R cutout here in the front. The RS V2 is rocking 120 by 24 millimeter Root Industry air wheels, black on black of course, just to stay as sleek as possible. But honestly, with a scooter of this size, the 120 millimeter wheel just looks normal. Doesn't look out of place whatsoever. Moving on to the back, this is where things get pretty cool. This is Root Industries' all new square dropout system. So you have the fully squared deck with the nylon inserts to prevent the deck from caving in. It ensures you guys are gonna slide like butter when you're in any 5/0 or feeble grind, which is awesome. This deck is compatible with anything up to 120 millimeter wheels by 30 millimeter wheels, of course. You just will have to purchase 30 millimeter deck spacers aftermarket. Taking a look at the bottom, you can see there's not a lot of graphics on this deck. They wanted to go very minimal just to keep the sleek and mature look. I totally back it. So you have this really cool wave going through the deck, a little bit of texture. Air RS here on the bottom gets the job done. As of right now, the Air RS V2 does only come in this black colorway, but I'm sure we will see it in a few other ones later down the road. The Air RS V2 weighs 9.8 pounds, so for a scooter of this size, that is insane. I know scooters that are a lot smaller that weigh 10 pounds, so the fact that this whole thing only weighs 9.8 is insane. And finally, the price tag on the Air RS V2 is $259.95, so only $260 for this monster of a complete. It's giant. So those are the two new completes that we have from Root. I'm sure we have some more stuff coming from them because Christmas is right around the corner, so I'm very excited to see what comes. But that leads us to the end of this episode of What's New in Scootering. If you guys enjoyed me walking you through everything that is new and hot in the scooter world, please make sure to let me know by hitting that like button, dropping a comment. We will reply to pretty much any comment. If you guys have any recommendations for videos you want to see in the future or products you'd like me to go over, drop a comment letting me know as well, because we would love to hear what you guys want to see. And until the next episode, have a good one.